All right, record. Okay. So, Latin 2 kids, by the way, this is the week summary. Homework due on Wednesday for you guys Thursday. Quiz on Thursday for you guys Friday. And now we're doing a verb chart, so you can either follow along or I'll just make copies of the person with the best handwriting in here and give them to you. Either way, you can try to follow along, and maybe you can see it, but maybe you can't. All right, so I'm going to do a squiggly line. You don't have to do a squiggly line. That works for me. I just need to divide these up into like 2 chunks. So we don't have a verb chart up. I'm doing active in blue, apparently. Let me do a squiggly line for all of them real quick. I'm not going to write active and passive over and over again. I just need to write it once so that I know that that is like what's happening here. And I'm going to walk around and see if hopefully y'all can fit all this in. It's only going to get a little tight with the perfect passives. The perfect passives are going to get kind of tight. Okay. So let's do all the present actives. Cora. Oh, wait, what's that? Is anybody else? Why would that make it approved? I say they're always for kids. Go baby sign out. Sorry. But I mean, I don't like how easy it is to do this, but you can just type in Mr. Catalano into YouTube and you find my stuff. I was Zooming some family members the other day and I was telling them I had to film my classes, and they're like, oh, they're on YouTube, like we want to find them. And I was like, no, don't. I'm like, they technically could. Anyway, like anybody could. It's weird. Because I'm making them public. So you should be able to find them. They're all public. And again, you're watching Thursday's video. Okay, let's have Cora. What are the present tense active endings, Cora? You do know. I know you know. Oh, then what?
S.
Yes. Yeah. S.
P.
P.
Must.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You sound so hesitant, but like, I would bet money that all of you in here know this, even the computer kids. I mean, sure, no, I get that. So I don't think we need to translate, like for pretty much everything else, I want to write how we're going to translate these verbs. I guess we don't need to like write out like I verb, you verb, it verbs. You can if you want. If you want to write your pronouns, why not? And then maybe you write 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and write like SG right here and PL right here. But yeah, I'll write the pronouns and I'll leave it there. You, it, we, y'all, they. Hopefully y'all are probably writing a little smaller than I am even now. All right, can anybody tell me the passive endings? These threw y'all for a loop during Jeopardy, but y'all remember some of them in Jeopardy on Friday? Anyone? It's the first singular present passive. No? All right, so it's just R actually. I'm gonna write O in parentheses R because I don't think of O as being this part of the stem. And then it's RIS. TUR, that's a T. Please tell me as soon as I write something that is not clear to you. TUR. MUR. Mini, that really weird one. And NTUR. And now hopefully, let me walk around and see how y'all doing with space. Oh, y'all got plenty of space. Yeah, when you're writing with pencils, like stuff. All right. Because we want to write how we're gonna. What was it? Someone said something. You want to write how we translate this. So how do we translate a present? That's like OR. I'm putting O in parentheses because like it's technically just R, but I think of it as OR instead of loud bell would be loud door. Then RISTUR, MUR, mini, and tour. So we translate the present passive as I, and I want y'all to write this, am verb. And so when you're translating and you see a verb ending in OR, I want you to remember to look at like, oh, that's probably one of the passive ones. Oh, that's first singular present passive. And so it's going to be translated as I am verb. I like to usually put verb in brackets, but I don't want to like sacrifice any more space than I have to. So I am verbed. What would second person be? Anyone out loud? Well, you are verb. So that might seem easy, but like we are switching the helping verb from am to are. That's something we have to be able to do. This is very formulaic. Like that's why having a chart like this is actually a good idea. You told me the noun chart last week, right? So if you staple this to your noun chart, like you should just use that all the time when you translate. Like I'm not just saying that. I really actually feel that way. It'll make translation so much easier for you guys because I know y'all are still getting used to passive voice, and I don't blame you. It'll take like weeks to get really like in a couple of months, you guys will all have passive voice down, but it's gonna take a second. Okay, it's like a whole expansion added to our original endings. And this one's gonna be, I'm just gonna use it and not do like gendered pronouns like he, she. It is verb. All right, and then I'll finish this off. We are verb. Yep, getting a little tight for me, but hopefully not y'all. Y'all are verb. Eventually we might not like repeat all of these for all of them. And then they are verb. So in the plural, it is the word are over and over again, plus verbed. Okay, they are verb. I know that's getting real small. If you need to move up even just for this, it wouldn't be the worst idea. Okay, I almost want to use a different color. Would that be confusing? I think I am. I think for my imperfect, I'm going to use red and dark green. We're going to go for a Christmas thing. All right, who can rattle off my active imperfect endings? These are the best ones. They're so chill. They never change. Carly? Exactly. So let me write the bomb, boss, bot, etc. Bomb, boss. And this is B-A. B-A. That's not an O that I'm writing. My A's look weird. Bot. Bombus. Bottus. Bot. And how do we translate those, Carly? Yeah, was or were, depending on the pronoun. So again, if I were you, I would want to be a completionist about this, but since I'm up at the board, I might not write all of them, but I'll write most of them. I was, like I don't want to write verbing each time. I'll write verbing for some of them. I was verbing. You were verbing. So what else is okay for this? And if you want to write this instead of verbing, you can. Anyone? Yeah, Phoenix. Yeah, that's what Lucy said too. Verbed is fine for this as well. So I want to like be kind of a completionist about this. So maybe I would write or verbed up here or something, you know, start to make it a little sloppy looking. But you can also do that instead of verbing. If you want to write I verb, you verb, it verbs, that's fine. That's fine. It's just was or were verbing is like technically a little more correct for imperfect, but verbed is also like totally fine. So it's kind of up to you if that makes sense. Please ask me if that doesn't make sense to you. If you're like, what are you talking about? Like how, like is it one thing or is it the other? It's technically both. It can be either. If it's easier for you to do one, just do that one and don't worry about the fact you have two options. We are verbing. We all are verbing. We're all verbing. I'm Squidward. He's Squidward. We're all Squidward. Verbing. They are. And then, okay, and then what are the imperfect passives? Anyone? What do you think they're going to be? Are they just going to be the ones we already have plus what two letters? What two letters might we add to make something imperfect passive? No, not you. Yeah. Yeah, please do. Yeah, anybody can sit in any of these seats or move around just for this if you need to. Yeah, it's going to be BA. So I like imperfect passive. They make a lot of sense. So it's B-A-R, B-A-R-I-S, B-A-G-U-R, bomber, like President Obama. That's how a British person really would say Obama. Have y'all ever heard British people say words like China or like mama? They say like China. They put an R in there. It's weird. Obamany. So for this one, hopefully you guys can, but I'm not going to be able to write all of my translations. But does anybody, how is it? So it's not going to be I am verbed. It's going to be I what? Yeah. Did Caden say that?
Yeah.
What the heck? I was verbed. You can play guitar and Latin? Oh my. You can play Latin. I was verbed. You were verbed, etc. So it's the same thing. It's just instead of using am, are, or is, we're going to use was or were, right? Like, hopefully y'all get like kind of what's happening there, and it's not just this like thing you're having to try to memorize, because it shouldn't be that quite. Exactly. It was verbed. We were. See, okay, I'm not gonna write all. I'm sorry. We were. Y'all were. Y'all get it, right? Please tell me if y'all don't get it, and like y'all need me to like say what something is. But I don't want to. Maybe I'll just write them for the singular ones and not the plurals, because I'm gonna run out of space. Y'all doing okay on spacing? Good. Okay, for future, how about I use another pairing I could do? Purple and we do purple and brown. Everyone makes fun of like a brown marker, like, well, what's wrong with it? It's fun. Okay. Okay, and future is pretty much the same. Do you remember? Oh, future is actually bad. I hate future. So, okay. So for first and second conjugation, we got bow, bis, fit, right? Those are fine. We like those. But then third, oh wait, yeah. Yes, finis. So it's like the same as the imperfect, it's just bi instead of ba. Fitus. And then bunt is a little weird, but it's not that weird because we made a whole meme about it. But then you need to do something like divide the future. This is the only place we'll have to do this, thankfully. But you're going to need to divide future up a little bit. Because third and fourth conjugation verbs, the ones that end in short ere or long ire in the infinitive, they don't get the bow bis bit. They get am for some reason, long es, bt, extraterrestrial, phone home, Amos, which I cannot fit in barely, atus, and ain't. I guess it's just ent. It's not a long ent, so it's like int. All right, and I'm not gonna. Let's just write our helping verb for future once. Just translating future verbs are like the easiest thing. What's the helping verb that shows up for a future tense verb, future active? Will. So let me just write like will up here, will verb. Because the beauty of will is that it doesn't change, like is or be changes to am to is to are. But be, I mean, will is just gonna like I will do something, you will do something, it will do something. It'll always just be will plus the verb. So I don't need to like. It actually works out that we have less space for this one because you're always just putting will plus the verb. And then future passive is a little weird. It's not too bad though. Oh, it's brown. So that's gonna be. So I'm trying to film it, but I'm like constantly in front of it. But y'all, you computer gets you guys get it. So it's what is it again? It's B. Oh, it's just BOR, and that'll be I will be verb. Again, this is one that I don't need to write how we're going to translate it each time because it's always going to be will be verb. Whether it's you will be verbed, it will be verb, whatever, will and be are just going to be static, meaning they're not going to change, which is nice, right? And then it's this one's weird. It's BRIS. You would think it'd be like BIRIS, but it's ER. Who knows why? But that'd be you will be verb. I won't quite write that. So you can if you can fit it. Then it's going to be bitor. That would make sense. Bimor makes sense. Bimini. And what is it? I guess it's buntor. Yeah. I'm testing myself right now to see if I actually remember these. There's something a little weird with let's see, what is it? IENTUR. Okay. And this one's weird. You need to squeeze this in. IE. NTR. Just write that for now. We'll actually talk about that next week. That's in chapter 21. Because when we first get the perfect passives, that's chapter 19. They only give them to you for first and, I'm sorry, not perfect passive, just passive in general, chapter 18. They give them to you for first and second conjugation. Because third and fourth conjugation, they're just like slightly different, but that's the only place they're different. So just write that for now, but don't worry about it. Most of the ones you see, at least for the next week or so, are BUNTUR at the end. All right, we'll let y'all catch up, and then we'll start on the perfects. But y'all, like, that's a real passive. Yeah, y'all need to learn your passives, but like perfect is like, that's what I really want y'all to get more used to than y'all currently are. This. I should check something. We got so many endings. Are y'all doing okay on space? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's Buntor, and then it changes to Eantor for third and fourth. You just gotta love those third and fourth conjugation differences. They're great. They're really great. Oh my gosh. No, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Okay. All right, I'm gonna move on. Oh wait. Yeah, I don't have to. So yeah, I don't need to say how to translate the future passive necessarily, because it's always just will be verb. If you can fit it in, please do. But like, that'd be kind of redundant for me to do that. You will be verb, etc. And let me know while y'all are writing this if you're like, if there's something about the concept behind this you still don't get, please tell me. I think y'all get these concepts, y'all just don't have them memorized. And so you're not able to translate quickly enough when you spot them, or you're just like, you don't even know when you're spotting them versus another ending. But tell me if you think you actually don't understand like the concept of the tense or the voice, right? So these are just the first three tenses, but we have the active voice for years now, and now we're just now adding the passive voice as of like April. All right. I'm gonna start my color scheme over, blue and black, and I'm gonna start on the perfects. This would be so impressive, and it's not just you guys; it's the ninth graders too. I don't know their perfect endings, but does anybody know the perfect active ending? There's a lot of the letter I. One. Okay, my goal is for you guys to know them. That should be September's focus. September is like, maybe every month we'll have like a background like review focus that's just kind of like in the backdrop of our lessons. They're not gonna know the perfects by the end of the month. Okay, it's not even September yet. Isn't it crazy? It's technically still August, but I guess it's like basically September. It's September in exactly like 14 hours. What's the first singular perfect active? Anyone? It's a single letter. Parker? I. Okay, somebody knows. It's a long I. Then Parker? Yes. Close is Steve. Very weird one. This one's not really weird. It's just you would almost mistake it for not being perfect. So these really stand out when, let's see, how should I put this? When it's not a fourth or third conjugation verb, these should really stand out. Like if you see an ending with an I in it, and it's a first or second conjugation verb that would normally have an A or a long E, then you know it's perfect. It gets a little tricky though for third and fourth, because like this and this, these are the two hardest ones. They could almost look like they're just present. And that's where you need to know your third principal part. Itis. A runs. This one's weird. You can't squeeze it in, but like I would write something up here like amo, amare, amawi, and then underline amawi up to the V. Because that's what we're using to form these perfect tense verbs. We use the third principal part. So that's why it does help to like kind of know the third principal part of verbs. I don't expect y'all to know that. We have, how many verbs y'all think we have? Like at least 50 between the last 20 chapters. So yeah, you can't know them all. But letters like V, U, X are very common as the last letter in a perfect stem. Okay, and so how do we translate these, anyone? I'm going to write have once, and I'll write has once. But let's just write I verb and you verb, etc. Let's keep it simple. But yeah, maybe just somewhere write have once. And for third person, I'll write has once, and I won't repeat those. Those are options. You don't need them. We verb. Y'all verb. They verb. And then now let me do my perfect passive. Now this one I really won't be able to fit in there. Y'all can ignore what I'm doing up here. For perfect passive, those are the ones where they're in two chunks. And if we could communicate that somehow in a way that's not confusing, that would be good. So I'm going to write it two ways. I'm going to write it first this way. Amatus sum. And then I'm going to write, because what is amatus? What do we call that? Amatus, amata, amatum. The what principal part? Yeah, good. This is the fourth principal part. And so we have to bust out those fourth principal parts to form all of the perfect passives. And so I'll write it there once. I'll just write what it would be. That would be I am what? I am amatus sum. I have been loved. Yeah. But for this one, let me just write 4 pp. And if you don't think you remember what that means, it means fourth principal part. Maybe I'll write fourth pp. You should write that somewhere on here, maybe on the back, and then you add it to s, because we're just going to conjugate sum esse here in a normal way. So that's kind of handy actually. You'll have the yeah, that's a good way to do it, because this way y'all will have the well, I'll get to it when we're done, but you'll have sum esse in the 3 main tenses that it shows up in. So that's kind of good. They're just going to be in weird places that you wouldn't necessarily look for them in. So amatus s. Oh, and I want to translate it too. Okay, so this is where I maybe should have made massive boxes somehow. So write real small for this, guys. We can do this. We can totally do this. Fourth pp plus s, and that would be what? You want to use a contraction. You've been verb. You've been verb. I've been verb. You've been verb. And so on and so forth. Fourth pp. This black is expired. Sorry, again. Fourth pp plus s is going to be it has been verb. So we're really squeezing it in now, guys. I know it's not great, but if you think you understand that, how to translate it, maybe you don't need to do all that. But I'm going to keep doing it. We're trying to do that. Fourth pp plus sumus. We've been verb. We've been had. By limited space. Fourth pp plus estis. You've been verb. I'd be fine taking time on this, but I think I'm going to do the whole thing again with 9th graders, and that's a lot of. I guess I could, but it's they need. Yeah, and if y'all have good handwriting, I could just make a copy of one of y'all's. And make them copy it. Well, it's up to just sit there, but I guess that's better than writing it again. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. The idea is that they're reviewing it as we go, but it's almost too much time. We're not reviewing it efficiently. We're just kind of so amatus sunt. Well, it'd actually be amati sunt. They've been verb. And I'm definitely going to abbreviate for the pluperfect and future perfect. Future perfect, we shouldn't even write that. That thing doesn't show up. It never shows up. Okay, I'm going to start writing my future, but if you're looks like some people are caught up. All right. Oh wait, imperfect rather. Imperfect. Or pluperfect. Sorry. Pluperfect. Okay, so the pluperfect endings are easier to remember than the perfect endings. They are what? Anyone? Even I blanked out. I don't blame you guys. I blanked out. It's ERAM, which would be I had. So make sure at least once you like underline had like a million times for pluperfect. That's the key for pluperfect. Okay, that's all it is. And just to be clear, we're adding these endings, eram, eras, erat, to the third principal part. So that third principal part we see in that dictionary entry I'm adding up there, I don't know if y'all did, that's going to be the stem that we use for all three of the active perfect endings. And we use the fourth principal part for all three of the perfect passive endings. Y'all follow that? A lot to keep track of. You have verbed. Yeah, I won't write all of these. Erat, I'll write them for the singulars. It's had been verb. That's kind of weird. Third person needs a been. It had been verb. Right? It had. Oh no, it doesn't. It. But I make it passive. Sorry. It had verb. For some reason that sounded weird to me. It had verb. Like she had studied. Okay. Then Eramus. Eratus. Erat. And I'm sure y'all can kind of fill in the translations yourself. Hopefully. Now, what is the pluperfect passive? What do we change? We change one thing for pluperfect passive. So for perfect passive, we have amatus sum, amatus s, amatus est, amatus sumus, or amatis sumus. We need to make the fourth principal part plural. But what's the one thing we need to tweak to make it pluperfect passive instead of perfect passive? Anyone? Instead of sum s est, we're going to use, kind of confusing. We're going to use the imperfect form of sum sa. So now it would be amatus, which is the fourth principal part, eram, which is going to be I had, and this is when we need to whip out been. I had been verb. So pluperfect passive is all about using two helping verbs, had and been. And then I'll start writing it this way. Fourth, pp plus eros. You had been. Probably just write them for singular, and y'all can do them for all of them. Fourth, pp plus erat. It had been. English uses so many helping verbs, but that's because we're it's called an analytical language, not an inflectional one. Inflectional languages are cool because, like, yeah, there's a lot going on in these endings, but they pack so much info into the endings. For English, like, we just have to like use extra helping verbs to do these kinds of things. But maybe that sounds cool. Then fourth, pp plus eramus. Okay. We have been verb, etc. I'm gonna stop translating them. Like, you get it. I hope. So how many verb endings is this all together? It's 6 times 3. No, 6 times 6. 36 times 2. Oh my gosh, really? Is that actually what it is? So it's 72. That stinks for kids. Yeah, y'all need to know all 32 of these. I mean, 72 of these endings. Deal with it. Nuts. Did I do that math wrong? But yeah, I mean, it is impressive because some of y'all, I think most of y'all at least like get, like I said, the concept. I just don't think y'all quite have the endings. Like, remember, I don't blame you, man. That's crazy. All right, let's do future perfect. Let me move my thing off. There, maybe. Just think of like tomorrow, Kai, Jackson, Prudence, and Callie are just gonna be like watching this video. Like, it's probably boring for like they don't, because they probably can't really see this too well, and they're hearing me say it. I probably already have handed them a copy of it, so they're just like chilling out. But that's okay. They can work on their homework. Okay. So I use purple and black. let's fly through Future Perfect. It's what? I can. I really don't mind. Oh, for sure. And y'all see how I like kind of stopped writing the translations? I guess if I'm holding up, I can write them, but Future Perfect is the least important. So I'll just, like, we can all be kind of fast with those. Oh, hello, Elena. Elena, we're making a chart right now that you'll just have to get a copy of. We'll do a contest. We'll see who has the prettiest one. We'll make a copy of
Not
it.
mine.
Yours is color-coded. What?
I know, but they really do.
Yeah, they can. But, I mean, whatever. They'll have been – oh, I see. Even that there, they can't.
It's just
Because it's just going to be the thumbnail. It's not. Yeah, sorry, Jackson, Kai, Prudence, and Callie. We'll give you the copies. We're either going to give you a copies of, like, Cora's or Lucy's or, like, maybe Bailey's. Bailey's is looking good. Thank you. Because we can make color copies, too.
very bad.
No, that's pretty good. So it gets a little crammed for – I mean, I don't blame – yeah, that's a little small. But it's probably, like, clear. No, I don't blame y'all for the perfect – I mean, the passive innings are getting kind of small. Anyway, all right, I'll start writing the future. Y'all, is it okay that I didn't write the translation for these, right?
I'll just do that later.
So, well, do it now.
Okay.
We had been. I'm not gonna. Well, I'll write verb. Write it all. I'm completionist. Y'all had been. Verb. And it had been verb. Okay. Verb. All right, last one. Let's do future perfect. The tense you'll basically never see. So it's not even bad. We take the third principal part of a verb and we add arrow, eris, erit, erinus, eritus, erit, int weirdly. And that's going to be I will have. Verb. So the difference between a perfect verb and its passive counterpart is literally just the word been. But so no been's in the active feature. You will have verb. And I'm not gonna yeah, that'll be it for that. I don't wanna y'all can do the rest if you have time. And then future perfect passive will be round marker. It'd be like amatus arrow, which would mean I will have been verb. So future perfect takes the cake, man. We got 3 helping verbs having to come out for that guy. Will, have, and been. Is the bell really about to ring? Like in a minute? Dang. Okay, guys, try to get these in. It's 4th PP. I can't believe this was all. I knew this was going to take most of class, but I didn't quite think it'd be like the whole thing. I guess there was some other stuff at the beginning. Erit. All right. And again, 4th, future perfect is like, it just doesn't even show up, man. So it's fine if y'all don't like get all of this. So if y'all remind me, I'll remind y'all, an essay today. I'm going to hunt down, I won't make anyone feel bad, but we'll find somebody who has like really legible, a good one, and I'll make copies for the 4 kids in last period who need it. Where? This eritus. It's errant. It's I and it says 4th principal part. It didn't even say anything. Eritus. Yeah, it's just gonna repeat what except this one. This one's kind of weird. It's just gonna repeat the ending of the active basically, plus the 4th principal part. All right. Hopefully you kind of finished. We can touch up future perfect tomorrow if we need to. We'll do spot translations tomorrow, homework check on Wednesday. So we'll do the Antiquai tomorrow. All right, interesting. Stopping place. I need to organize all my stuff. Look at that. It's like weirder without the projection. It's very color-coded. Oh wait, Elena. Oh, this is your homework for this week. Sorry, that's my bad. You're just gonna do. So you're gonna do your class.
I won't be able to get to my locker anyway.
Oh, Elena, did you? Yeah. And you'll do
We should
Thursday for this whole
How
that everybody.
So much easier, so I'm not like on the
Oh, so maybe the other person. No, that sounds familiar. Go ignore. Well, let me find it, but you can go on. Yeah, you're probably on.
I think so.
Is the computer still working for you okay, Alyssa?
It's really laggy.
Really laggy? Okay. Maybe by the end of the week I'll try to get that dude to well, I can just do it myself. Get y'all on the official Wi-Fi. Yeah, I can do it myself. I'll just remember the password and maybe in SA one day we can do that. Oh, oops, this one really long.